Welcome to Syntax, a Generative Introduction, 4th edition. My name is Andrew Carnie. I'm a professor of linguistics at the University of Arizona. I'm the author of your textbook, and I'll be leading you through this series of video tutorials. In this video, I want to talk about 4 other tools you can use for drawing trees if you like. The first one I want to talk about is a piece of software that you can download and that you can install on your computer called TreeForm. TreeForm is a WYSIWYG, or what you see is what you get, program where you can do drag and drop tree drawing. You can download it from SourceForge. Look for sourceforge.net projects TreeForm. And then there are instructions on that page about how to download it and install it. Once you've opened the application, you can create a variety of kinds of structure. You'll want to be careful to avoid some ones that we'll be using later in this semester for now. But we can, for example, draw a tree that looks like this. You can change the categories. You can insert new tree bits into it like that. One thing that is a little hard to do is you don't want to use the terminal tool for entering names of items. So let's say we have a word of category X. You actually want to use the feature tool and replace that word feature with the relevant word like that. So don't use the terminal tool, use the feature tool. So that's TreeForm. It takes a little bit of getting used to, but it generates quite nice trees. So you can use Google Docs for drawing trees. What you have to do is you need to open a Google document and choose Insert, and then insert a drawing. You would normally choose New. I've created one here already for you to see, and when you double click on it, you can edit it. This is quite a simplistic little tool. There's very limited things you can do with it, but you can draw basic trees. You can write in the names of categories by clicking the this little T in a box, create a box, and then you can create the category you're going to draw. And you can draw lines by clicking on the line tool and then drawing the line you want to have, or drawing another one. And you can line them up like that. There is a functionality here where you can link the lines to a particular word. I recommend against doing that. Here, I'll show you. So you get these little dots, and you can link the line to that word so that when you move that word around, the line will in fact move with it. But you'll see that it doesn't always put the line in the best place. So I would avoid using that little tool where you link the lines to the words. So that's using Google Docs. Now, there are 2 more methods we can talk about, both of which require that you be able to draw out the tree in bracketed notation. So here is RSyntaxTree. You'll want to have the one that's at yohasebe.com. And there's a couple of things that you want to do to make this work right. So you'll notice that the categories marking the brackets are not subscripted. You just have to put them in the right place. I like to put a space in, and that gives me a clear indication of what I've got. It will check to make sure that you've got the right number of brackets. So for example, if I add a word here, just some random word, and I ask it to check, it makes sure that I've got the right number of brackets in the structure. One thing, another thing you'll want to do is make sure when you do this that you choose that the connector shape is listed as none. If you don't do that, if you have it listed as auto, here I'll regenerate this tree for you, it puts in all those extra lines that I've told you are incorrect. So you don't want to use the auto or the connector or the bar. Instead, you want to use none. And it will, when we regenerate this tree, it leaves those out. Now you can copy and paste this structure. You can just grab it and throw it into your Word document. I also like to turn off the color, which I find distracting. And I like to make sure that the symmetrize function is on. That makes sure that the words are sort of evenly spaced around in your tree. So that's RSyntaxTree. Make sure you've got the connector shape set to none. That's the key. And then make sure you know how to type out the bracketed string. So that's good practice there. There's one more program I want to tell you about, which is TreeDraw, which was created by my colleague at the University of Arizona, Sandaway Fong. It comes in two versions. There's a version which is web-based, and there's a version that you can download onto your computer. You can just search for Sandaway, spelled S-A-N-D-I-W-A-Y, Fong, and search for TreeDraw. And you'll come to this page where you can find different versions. The program requires learning a fairly complex set of rules about bracketing. So like our syntax tree, you have to know what the brackets are in order to draw the tree properly. Once you know the brackets, you can create trees using those brackets. But there are special little codes that you have to encode into the system. It gives you quite nice trees, and it can give you slightly more complicated trees than the trees that you can draw through our syntax. So that's a plus, but it is a little bit more of a learning curve. So those are 4 different methods for drawing trees. There's TreeForm, TreeDraw, RSyntaxTree, and Google Docs.